Hi Wake Tech students, thank you for participating in today's Student Summit as part of our Reach and Rally strategic plan. What Reach and Rally means for us is our thought process, our planning for a future in which we want to help even more students reach their goals, reach their dreams and aspirations, how we can reach even further into our community to help even more students who may not even dream that things are possible and not know about an avenue through Wake Tech to their dreams, and how we can do even more to rally around all of our students, each and every one who comes through our doors, so that no one falls through the cracks. How do we come up with the term Reach and Rally? Well, that goes back to our history. Back 60 years ago, almost 60 years ago, when community colleges in North Carolina were created, they were built around a philosophy of taking students where they are and carrying them as far as they can go.
This institution will take people where they are and move them ahead as far as they can go within its 2-year range.
It's a noble ambition, the idea that everyone has value, everyone should have access to higher education, and that we are an avenue for every student, regardless of where they live, regardless of their circumstances growing up, regardless of their geography, their economic circumstance, or their previous preparedness. Everybody has a chance, everybody has an opportunity through a community college like Wake Tech. We tweak that to say Reach and Rally because we don't think it's enough just to take students who come to us, who go through our registration lines. We know we've got to reach out even more into the community, into parts of our community where students may not have grown up in a family where their parents went to college. They may not know about the opportunities. We can't wait to take students. We have to reach out to them. We know too that we need to support our students in dreaming even further than they may imagine when they walk through our Wake Tech doors, to aspire higher, to have greater opportunities than they would even imagine possible through Wake Tech. That's part of Reach and Rally. And the rally part is, for many of our students, life gets in the way, things get in the way. Many of our students are challenged because most of our students work. Many of them have family responsibilities. They have multiple different responsibilities, and sometimes a hurdle for what someone may not seem consequential can be very significant for a student when they have to think about how are they going to achieve their academic goals. So we know we need to rally around students. We don't carry students across a graduation stage. What we do is, if we can rally around our students and you know that we're behind you, that we've got your back, then we don't carry anyone across graduation. Students propel themselves, but they have to feel our rally spirit. So reach and rally. Well, that's what that means. Now, what do we do to help students reach further, to reach more students, and for us to rally around and provide even greater support for students? Well, that's what our strategic planning is about. That's what the strategies, the tactics, and that's what you're part of today, to help us think about what it is we can do to help more students, help them dream and aspire higher, and make sure that none of our students in the future fall through the cracks. That's Reach and Rally. So, we have a game plan, and you may see the game plan. We can talk through the game plan. We have areas of focus. Let me just kind of walk through what a few of those areas are now. These are the areas that we're thinking about, and we need your input in helping us to think about as well. First, reaching further. Where are students reaching to when they come to Wake Tech? For almost all of our students, they come not really to Wake Tech, I will say, but oftentimes through Wake Tech. What I mean by that is, for most of you, I doubt many of you, maybe a few, but doubt many of you grew up in middle school, when younger age, thinking someday I'm going to Wake Tech. But more students will come through Wake Tech than any college in North Carolina. Why do you do that? Because you see us as an avenue to having better job opportunities in a dynamic economy, or as a place to start a great path to university transfers. So for many of our students, you're looking to either move straight into the workplace or to move straight to a university, but you all want to have promising careers and fulfilling lives. How can we help you achieve those goals? Well, one is by providing greater pathways to your goals. So part of our goals deal with transfer. We're working very diligently with our core transfer partners to make sure that we have pathways aligned so that every credit counts, that students can make their way to our top transfer partners, as well as have more transfer opportunities if they're in applied programs. For those students who have career aspirations right after leaving Wake Tech, how can we give you a greater foothold? How can we provide more apprenticeship, internship, work-based learning opportunities? How can we even make transfer opportunities available with universities if you're in a career pathway? How can we give you more opportunities in terms of the skill sets you need to get that job that you want? So a big part of our focus is where our students are reaching to. Greater transfer opportunities, greater job opportunities in one of the most dynamic economies in North Carolina. We also know that you look at our region, there's so much opportunity here, but sometimes people who move into our region and come from other places have greater luck with those jobs than people who grew up here. We don't want anybody to be left out of that opportunity, and that's why we have to help students ladder through those opportunities, as I was just talking about. But what it also means, we believe, is reaching out into communities, particularly areas of our community where perhaps more lower income families live, families where the parents may not have gone to college. We need to figure out how we can better reach into those communities to make sure that everybody has a chance, everybody has an opportunity to go past high school through Wake Tech and achieve their dreams. So we're very focused on the places, the high schools, the regions where we need to do even greater outreach and help more students come through. But when students come through us, and our registration lines can be very long in this August time period, as I am right now when I'm recording this, what we don't want to have happen is that our graduation lines are a lot shorter after a few years. We want everybody who registers and goes through a line in August to go through a line at the end of May when they graduate. So our graduation stages are just as full as our registration lines. Well, a lot of times that means there's things that we have to do, the rallying part of our strategic plan. So you'll see in our roadmap things that we talk about, and things as I'll sometimes give funny labels. We have to have bumper guards. That's our student activity, our student advocacy and support functions. Things like emergency financial aid, our nest pantries, all those kind of student supports that help a student when they run into a life challenge. Oftentimes it may be something that could cost less than $500 to fix, but can be an overwhelming hurdle. And when students drop out or stop out because of that, we know they drop out. So how do we enhance the systems and the infrastructure to provide those student supports? College can be very confusing. There's so many options, and sometimes if you don't make the right choice, you can find yourself backtracking. How do we smooth out our pathways? We also are going to work very diligently on advising and what I will call the rumble strips, if you will, thinking about going down a pathway and you get ready to go off your path and you hear that rumble strip telling you, just giving you that little bit of warning. Well, that's what advising can do. And so we need a stronger advising system where every student knows their advisor, every advisor knows all their students, and we can provide the advice that our students need at the point that they need it so that they're always moving forward. That's a big part of Reach and Rally. A major part of Reach and Rally is thinking about teaching and learning. And we have such great faculty at Wake Tech. We are so blessed in their commitment and their talent and their motivation. What we want to do as part of teaching and learning, and we have a great faculty team thinking about this, is what do we need to do to define what is great teaching and learning for Wake Tech? That can be different than what it may be at Duke University or NC State or ECU, but what is it that is great teaching and learning here? Because we know it exists, so that as we're bringing new people in, as we're providing the supports, that we're always about the best in teaching and learning. What are the competencies that we want all our students to achieve regardless of their field when they leave Wake Tech? And what the pandemic has taught us is that more and more there is an opportunity for more of a blended Wake Tech, a Wake Tech online, where students, regardless of whether they're in an online class or a fully online program or a fully seated program, they can access more of the support and the services they need online, as well as course offerings or supplements through online support. That's a big part of our teaching and learning focus. We have a big focus on equity. Equity means for us that we are thinking about how every student achieves, even though we know that every student comes to us from a different place, from a different background, from a different level of preparation. What equity means in higher education is creating the institutional design, the designs that provides the supports, the services, so that every student achieves, regardless of whatever their circumstances, their challenges, their previous preparation may have been. So how do we provide those supports? And what that also means is when we look at whether or not we're succeeding, we do it with an equity lens. We're looking to make sure that every student, regardless of where they came from in geographically or income status or any different scenario, that everyone's achieving. That's what equity means. And so we want there to be equitable outcomes for everyone. And then finally, it's that reach out piece, equitable access. That's a big part of who Wake Tech is today. It's the notion that everybody achieves. We take just as much pride in Wake Tech as being inclusive, meaning that everybody has a place here, as some universities do in being exclusive. You know, it's a little ironic when people typically rate colleges these days. Colleges can be rated on how many people they don't serve. They take in 10% of all those who apply. Well, we're proud that we take in 100% of everyone who applies, but we want 100% to achieve their goals and dreams. And what that means too is we want people to achieve their goals and dreams who may not have grown up in the circumstances, the family circumstances, the economic circumstances where they dreamed that a college degree was possible, that they dreamed that certain pathways were possible. And that's what equitable access means for us. How do we make sure that's what we do at Wake Tech by reaching out throughout our community to everyone, particularly those who need us most? So that's the outline of the roadmap. Those are the core elements that we're focused on. That's the what's. The big question is the how's. How do we do these things? How do we make sure we're providing the supports our students need when they need them? How do we make sure we're providing the advising our students need to make sure they're achieving? How do we make sure our teaching and learning in every class always reach the level of excellence that we expect for Wake Tech? How do we make sure that we can provide greater support in a blended world that's both online and seated and hybrid? How do we make sure that everyone is achieving? That's what we're striving for. That's what you're about today, is helping us think through that, because you're the people who we are here for. How do we help you? And in what you're providing to us today is how do we help those who come behind you? Our students who will come behind you will stand on your shoulders from your input today, helping us to think more, to think differently, and to think of new ways to do what we've always been about, but how we can even be better for Wake Tech and be better for our Wake community and for all the students we strive to serve in the future. That's why I want to thank you for giving your time today. Your input is so valuable to us. I've really appreciated everyone I've interacted with for the past year since I've been at Wake Tech through various student forums. I can tell you we learned so much from you. We're so appreciative that you're Wake Tech students, and we're very appreciative that you're contributing today to ideas and thoughts that will better the Wake Tech students that follow you. Thank you.